Hello, Marcus.
Hello, teacher. How are you today?
I'm very well. How about you? You didn't stop on the way for the class to have some acarajé?
No, teacher. Unfortunately,
Today, yeah, today you got here just in time, huh?
today I'm on the right time here.
Yes, just in time for class. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Carol is here too. Mario is here. Okay. At least we have two students that we can talk to. Okay.
Okay.
Hello again, Carol.
Hello, teacher. Hello, Marcos,
Hello,
Mario.
Carol. I'm fine, and
How are
you?
you? Fine.
Good to see you guys here. So without further delay, can we try to finish yesterday's class? We were discussing the best idioms that you have to learn in order to get a good job, or to succeed
Very
in a
good.
job interview, okay?
Okay.
So we discussed the first part. We read all these, okay? Am I already sharing my screen with you or no? No. So
No,
No.
let me share the screen.
not yet.
Yes. Okay. Now, yes?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
not yet.
Okay, so we talked about GDP, we talked about the idioms, we started with a long shot, back to the drawing board, to corner the market, which is a very good expression. I told you about China, okay? Hands are tied, we discussed this. Up in the air, it's also very common to learn the ropes, okay? Especially when you start a new job, a learning curve. Okay, to go down swinging, that's what the Baianos do best, okay?
I cannot agree with you, but okay.
You see, I remember once I was in Salvador, and it was really funny. Do you know, I don't know if you still have those places near the beach where they sell coconuts.
Yes,
Yes.
of course you have.
Yeah, so I remember that I went there and I asked for coconut water. And this guy, he was very funny. He said, "Oh, sure." And then he turned it around to go there to get the coconut for me, but he started playing a music on the radio. And I could not believe. He stopped in the middle of the way and he started dancing, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And I had to wait the entire song to be over. When it was over, he went there, he got the coconut and brought it to me. Just
Oh my
as if,
gosh.
yeah, like after 4 or 5 minutes dancing, you know, like, no, no, all by himself, of course. So I said, oh my gosh, how is that possible? Understand?
It was an important song for him.
I'm sure it was a very
Esse é
important.
one.
So we saw I think we stopped here. We were discussing the difference of buy the book and cutting corners. I
Yeah.
even told you that
Yes.
in Brazil, we do have a lot of problems because most people in industries, they always try to do everything they can to cut corners, okay?
Yes.
To make things cheaper, but using products of inferior quality. And the result is, well, that's like everything from China is like this, understand? They always make things to last uh, sometimes not even a week, okay?
Well, teacher, let me ask you something. Uh, when you use it to cut corners, always the idea is the bad idea, the corruption of some.
No, it
Always
doesn't
this
have
is
to
the
be
idea.
corruption. It
Uh,
doesn't have to be corruption. The idea is always to do something not according to the book.
okay.
Understand? You always try to save money by decreasing the quality of something you are using. Understand?
Yes, understood.
But you can also use in legal things, understand? Like many lawyers probably they cut corners by looking for similar legal processes in the internet, and then they copy and paste instead of writing everything. Understand? This is a
Yes,
way of
yes.
cutting corners. Understand?
Okay,
It's not
understood.
using jurisprudence. No, it's different. Understand? It's
Okay,
just
okay.
copy and paste.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Understood the idea. Okay.
Yeah.
My girlfriend about lawyers. She's not my girlfriend. I think she's my crush. I don't know. She told me.
Well, if you don't know, I wonder
Oh
who
my gosh,
Yes.
Marcus.
He doesn't even know. Okay, I want to hear this story. I'm all
Okay.
ears. I'm all ears. Okay.
Oh, but I have to discuss this with her later. But she told me about a lawyer that puts in the middle of the paper a recipe of something, some food.
Okay.
Yeah, just to prove that the judge don't read
Didn't
all the
read.
things. Yes,
Yeah. Well.
I
Yes,
have to copy and paste.
something happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe it's possible because the amount of paper they have to read. Okay. Sometimes you see people taking little trolleys with piles and piles of documents, especially in movies. Okay,
Yes.
like they have like 500, 600 folders concerning one single case. Imagine if the judge is going to read everything.
Yes.
Okay.
But the judge don't read. The intern read it.
Oh yes.
Yes, of course. The judge no.
Well,
The judge have an assistance for these, and oh my gosh, never
a legal
never read.
assistant. Yes,
Legal
probably.
assistant.
Yes, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you remember. I told you last December. I entered with a petition to alter the name of my great grandfather that died over 100 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be something like, please change this to this, just this. The petition was like 15-page long. Okay. With a lot of BS. You know what's BS?
No,
You have never heard this expression?
no BS, no.
Me
BS
neither.
BS is abbreviation for bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good for nothing. Sometimes somebody's telling you a story and you don't believe you can say, that's BS, man. It's not possible. Understand? That's BS. It's very common to listen to this in movies. Okay, they don't even use the full expression, bullshit, because that's another idiom. If you translate, okay, like merda de boi, it makes no sense, okay? But the idea is papo furado, conversa fiada, understand? That's BS,
I never
okay?
pay attention, but
Yes,
I
yeah,
try to find.
yes. But anyway, today, today, okay, I entered in December, early December. Today, the lawyer sent me an email with 12 attached files concerning that the judge decided to authorize, but now we need the decision to be published somewhere so we can finally have the alteration done. But I was amazed that I started opening all the files. And can you believe that I entered with this petition in a courthouse in the state of São Paulo, okay, in Piracicaba? There was one document that was even signed by Dias Toffoli. I said,
Oh my
what
God.
the hell?
Just
Yes,
stop.
yes, it was there, Dias Toffoli, president of the Supreme Court, blah, 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 his signature. I said, why did he have to go all the way to Brasilia for a guy to decide that it was possible to correct the name? Because what happened is that the public notary, do you know what's a public notary?
Yes.
It's funny because in Portugal, they use this. They say notário público,
Yes.
which is our tabelião, okay? A public notary, what he did is that he mistyped the last name of my great-grandfather. So it was not correct. It was only necessary to alter to the correct name, okay? But the name was correct in the death certificate, in the wedding certificate, but it was incorrect only in the birth certificate. So in only one document, it was incorrect. But it's been like 5 months to get the decision, understand? And now I have to wait. I don't know what she uses, some legal term there that I don't know what she's talking about. Another at least 30 days for the decision to be published somewhere, so the public notary can finally alter it, understand? So I don't know. The public notary said he couldn't alter only with the decision. He couldn't cut corners based on the decision. He needed to wait for the decision to be published because they only do things by the book. Understand?
Yes, because if you have something that opposes this changing, you can't effect with this decision. Understand? So we need to publish this for everybody. The see this decision.
And then you need to wait, I think, 15 working days after the publishing. So she told me that I will probably only get the final decision by the end of May.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like 6 months.
Almost 6 months,
Yeah, and that was
very
bureaucracy. A lot of, what's the expression?
Red tape. Yes, red tape.
Yes, a lot of red tapes. Understand? So cut corners. Understood?
Yes.
Yes.
In Brazil, I remember, and I have to tell you, maybe Max will find this interesting because he's also an engineer. When I decided to study civil engineering in the United States, it was interesting because you have to choose one area of civil engineering, and you kind of specialize in that area.
In the beginning of the course?
Not at the beginning of the course, after 4 years, okay?
Okay.
Then you choose what area. In my case, I decided to study roads, okay? Which was interesting for me at that time. But that was the interesting thing, because if in the middle of the road there was a bridge, it would be necessary to have another engineer responsible for bridges. Understand? Yeah, in the case of a house box, it was necessary to have at least 5 engineers to be responsible for the construction of the house. One for the foundation, one for the layout and the calculation of everything, one for the watering part, one for the electrical part, okay? And one for the covering of the house, understand? Because depending on the place, if it snows, you have to reinforce the structure to tolerate the weight of the snow. If it doesn't snow, it's not necessary.
I think here in Brazil,
in my mind, in Brazil there's only one.
Yeah, just need one.
Yes,
like civil engineer. If you're a small house, a civil engineer can do everything. Just one civil
exactly.
engineer.
But that's the point I want to talk about. If something goes wrong in the house, you can practically never get this engineer liable for the accident, responsible for the accident. Understand?
Why?
In the United States, if, for example, a house catches on fire after 20 years due to an electrical problem, like a short circuit or something, because the circuit breaker didn't interrupt the short circuit,
yes,
the electrical engineer that signed the project is liable for that. Understand? And he is going to be sued in court because it was his liability. Are you
I
familiar
think
with this term?
I think the liability in USA is more. We have the definition of the liability better than here, no? Because
I think it's a little bit extreme. Okay, I can tell you why it's a bit extreme. Imagine that you invite some friends over. You want to throw a party in your house. All right? Okay, it's your birthday or your husband's birthday, and then you want to throw a party, and then you invite some friends. And of course, you intend to serve like wine or beer or even some caipirinhas, all right? Okay. What happens in Brazil, according to the law, okay, Carol? If somebody that is in your party, after the party has a car accident and dies, are you responsible for that? Or not?
After the what, teacher?
After the party.
After the party, the person was a little altered, understand?
Yeah.
And then he crashes his car or her car, and he or she dies as a consequence of this. Would you be responsible for that in Brazil?
The driver of the car?
Yeah, the driver of the car drank in a party that you were given in your house.
Me, no. In my house, no. Only the driver, but me that give the party, no.
You see, that's the point I wanted to get. In the United States, when people are throwing a party, I'm going to write here an abbreviation that is very common. And nowadays, they even send invitations either by email or by WhatsApp message. And the invitations have these letters, B-O-B. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Bring on
Boozy.
Bring on booze.
What is boozy? Booze.
The drink?
The drink. You know why, Carol? Because in the United States, in the United States, you are liable for the accident.
Oh my gosh, it's super complicated.
Because you served the guy, the alcoholic. And the guy died as a consequence of DUI. This is very common to listen in movies, okay? Like he was arrested for DUI. That is the abbreviation for driving under influence. It can either be alcohol or drugs. DUI, okay?
Teacher, so but in...
yes, go ahead.
In this sense, if you have a bar, for example, a pub,
okay,
it's the same idea, no? It's very complicated.
Think about this.
Yes, but you want to know what happens there?
What?
You can even Google it and you will discover. If the owner of the bar keeps serving alcoholic drinks to a customer, and the guy gets drunk inside of his bar, everyone sees him or her drunk, and he or she drives out of there, the owner of the bar is liable.
Oh my God.
You have to pay for everything, plus probably a lot of money to the family. So you know what they are supposed to do, the owners of the bar? And I have seen this happen.
Really?
They are supposed to call a taxi and put you inside of the taxi. And they pay for the taxi driver to take you back home.
Like the owner of the bar is now
the owner of the bar.
Is responsible for the client.
Is liable, yes.
Is liable for the client,
Yes. And I know this because I spent a few years of my life in a place after studying, graduating, everything in Seattle, I did also some studies in a place called Madison, Wisconsin, near Chicago. Okay. And in Madison, it's very interesting. The taxi system there, it's always share a ride. Have you ever heard about this?
No.
The first time I was in this case, I was kind of, whoops, what's going on here? But it's never a private taxi. It's called share a ride.
Ah, yes, I heard about this.
Yes. For example, you call a taxi. When the taxi stops, you look, there is another person inside. And then I remember asking the guy, I'm sorry, you are already taking him somewhere? No, that's okay. It's not the
but
same
nowadays
way.
is in the way, teacher, nowadays?
Yes.
Nowadays, yes.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. If they are driving, going to a certain place, because they have a dispatcher on the radio, and then the dispatcher tells them, you're supposed to pick up somebody on the corner of this street and this street, or at this address, and it's on their way, they will go there, and then you share a ride with other passengers. It's cheaper, okay?
Yeah.
But sometimes there are some disadvantages. That's why I'm going to tell you this. Once
I don't know.
Yes.
It's the Uber, the app Uber. There is this
No,
option.
no,
But I think
no.
in Brazil,
At that time, they
they don't
didn't
have
even
this.
exist. They didn't even exist.
So,
Uber. They were only-
like nowadays, the Uber put this option too in
Oh, really?
the app.
Yes, we have this option in Uber, yes. Nowadays.
But it's
Okay.
just in some specific place. Like, I don't know,
But-
Salvador, for example,
It must
we
be.
don't have this option yet.
No?
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
In São
okay.
Paulo, we have this option, but I am afraid about
Yeah.
this. I don't like.
Here when I need to go around, I would just have to settle my horse and then I can go, understand? Because there are no Ubers or anything like that, okay?
Okay.
I go by horse. So anyway, that's what I was going to say. Brings me back to the liability of the bar owners. The guy said, I'm sorry, sir, I have to stop to pick up another client. I said, okay, you have to? Yes, I have to. He stopped at a bar. I was sitting in front. And the owner of the bar came out almost carrying a person that was completely drunk, put this person inside of the taxi, paid the driver and told him, take him to this place because your address is in the driver's license, understand? Or in your ID. And that was disgusting because the guy started getting sick, like throwing up inside of the car.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my gosh, stop the car. I will walk home, understand? Because the smell was disgusting. And the driver said, no, I'll take you home first. I said, no, it smells terrible. And the guy was sitting behind me, imagine.
Oh.
So like,
Very dangerous.
Yeah. Holy cow.
yes. But this bring on booze. Even in parties at universities, it's common to do this. Because it doesn't matter if you bring, for example, Itaipava and drink my Heineken, okay? I can simply tell the police, no, it was B.O.B. So, understand?
Yeah.
It's not important if he gets drunk because he was supposed to bring his own drink. Understand? And then I can just justify that I'm not liable for any accident if I had the B.O.B. in the invitation. Understand? Nowadays,
it's not your fault anymore.
yes.
You wash your hands.
Exactly. That's the case. I wash my hands. Oh.
I can use this expression in English. I wash my hands.
Yes. Yes.
Very good.
Like Julius Caesar. Okay. Another interesting aspect of these is that this changed completely okay? And these, I even have an article about this. Some companies, for example, given end of the year parties, you know, they used to serve a lot of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys that was the manager of this company went to the party, got drunk, crashed the car, died. The family
Oh
received
my
from the
God.
company almost like $5 million
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
as a compensation. So nowadays, the worst thing to do is to go to a company, a business party in the United States, especially in the United States. They are crazy about this, okay? Uh, why? Because they serve only coffee, tea, water, and soda. No
Mhm.
alcoholic beverages, understand? Because they don't want
Yes.
to be liable for anything, okay?
Yes. If it's happened here in Brazil, the companies has a lot of problems with this
Yes,
because the parties of the company, oh my gosh.
yes. I even read in this article that I told you about. I will try to find, and I can probably attach to tomorrow's
Mhm.
class or something. You might be interesting for you to read. A guy used to. He was like a sales manager
Mhm.
for a company, a big company, and he used to take customers out for dinner. And of
Mhm.
course, he would always pay for the dinner, serve wine and everything. And one day, on the way back home, he crashed and died. The company was also liable. Understand? The wife
Yeah.
received a fortune from the company because he was entertaining customers for the company, and he
Yeah.
paid his business corporate card.
Art.
Understand? So it proved that it was a business meeting. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
the company was 100% liable for everything. So this, when you see this Bob, B-O-B, means bring on booze. So they are just washing their hands. They are not taking any responsibility. Okay.
Yes. Very
Entendi.
interesting.
Now let's go to the next one. Carol, can you read for us? Ladies first. Between a
Yes.
rock and a hard place.
Between a rock and a hard place, when there is no easy way out or good solution. Whatever you do, whichever option you choose, the outcome will not be ideal.
Ideal,
Ideal, sorry.
ideal. Okay. You see, in everyday English, that's why at the beginning I wrote there that the difference between business English and general English sometimes it overlaps. One overlaps the other. Understand? It's almost similar. But
Mm-hmm.
if you are in business, you say, well, we are just between a rock and a hard place. But if
Yeah.
you are talking to a friend, you can say, well, I'm between the devil and the blue sea. There are other expressions that have exactly the same meaning. You are in a difficult situation, and it doesn't matter what you choose, the result will not be ideal. Understand? Read the example here and you understand.
Yes. Can I read?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Management.
Management finds itself between a rock and a hard place after the corruption scandal that has erupted. Either they file for bankruptcy and hope that law enforcement forgets about them, or they stay in business and run the risks of going to jail.
You see?
Mhm.
So there was a corruption scandal in the company, and they have two choices. They either file for bankruptcy
Mhm.
and hope the law forgets about them because they broke, they bankrupted, or if they insist to continue in business, they'll take the
And
chance of going to jail because
to
of the
jail.
corruption. Understand? So they are between a rock and a hard place. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Marcos, from the ground up. Can you read this for us?
Yes. From the ground up. To build or start something from nothing, from zero. Build a company from the ground up can bring you great pride if you are successful.
Okay. Now, this, if you were, again, I'm talking about the similarity between business English and general English. When you want to start something from zero, in general English, you say from scratch. Remember this? Yes. For example, I told you about my pancakes. I love doing pancakes from scratch. That means I mix the flour, the milk, the butter, the eggs, the sugar, the baking powder, mix everything, okay? But some people just go to the supermarket and buy a pancake mix and add water, and that's it, understand? But I like doing it from scratch, okay? Now, when you are talking business, you can say, I built this company from the ground up. Understand?
In Brazil, we have the similar expression, but you use the zero, no?
Yes, from zero. They say from the ground up. Okay?
Ground up. Okay.
What's the example, Max?
Build a company from the ground up can bring you great pride if you are successful.
Yes. That's the case of, for example, if you watch that movie about Facebook.
Yeah, I watched.
Facebook was built from the ground up. And I remember that it was a Brazilian guy, probably a very rich Brazilian guy, that gave some money for Mark Zuckerberg to start the company because they didn't have any money. Facebook started as just an app, you know, to Harvard student, so they could select who was handsome or beautiful or sexy or hot or something like this, understand? And then they started from the ground up, okay? The next expression, I have a friend who is the, well, they say president of a university, but is the headmaster of a university in the United States. As a matter of fact, it's the University of Madison in Wisconsin. We became good friends. And it's amazing. In a normal conversation with him, in an hour, he uses the bottom line at least 50 times. Understand? Everything. He says one sentence and then he goes, well, the bottom line is. So the bottom line. Read it and let's see if you can understand. Carol.
Yes, the bottom line, usually referring to the final profit margin of a business when all expenses have been paid.
Okay. This is in business use. Okay? So read example. At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, what shareholders carry about is the bottom line, which will determine the dividends they take home every year.
Okay, you see,
shareholders. Okay.
Shareholders. Determination. Okay, it's not determine. Determination. In business, this refers to the profit margin. Understand? Like you buy a product, you sell a product, you pay tax, you pay all the expenses, rent, light, water, everything, and then you have the profit. That's the final profit. And then you share with the shareholders, understand? But in business, this means this. When I use it in general English, the bottom line is like, let me try to imagine something in Portuguese. It's like, a questão é, o ponto é, That is the idea in general English, which is completely different of the business English use.
Oh,
Interesting.
yeah,
Yes.
it's really different.
Yes. For example, well, I tried. I had a problem with the water distribution here in my property. One of the pipes that comes from the water company broke between the water meter, which is like almost 1 kilometer away from where I live, in my house. And I didn't see the water leaking, understand? So my water bill came very high. And now I have to go there and try to negotiate with them to see if they can do something about that. The bottom line is, if they don't do anything, I'll have to pay a lot of money for the water bill. You see?
Yeah.
The bottom line is, okay?
It's like a conclusion expression.
Yes, yes. Okay? Now, the next expression is also very common. Usually, I would say that Americans, they don't like fooling around when they are doing business. They are very objective. So they might spend like 1 minute or 2 minutes just asking, how are things? Is everything all right? But after a few seconds, they'll say, okay, let's get down to business.
Let's get down to business. Oh, I know this one.
Oh my
You
God.
know this. Oh, Max, I think that's what you have to use with your crush. Okay, you have to tell her, baby, let's get down to business tonight. Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh, teacher, I cannot.
Now we
do
have
this. I'm
we have a
tired.
new student teacher in the chat
Yes,
box.
yes, I have to open.
Oh, it's true.
Hi.
Good evening.
Oh, Viva, and welcome to our class. Be, if you have. Marx, can you read this for us?
Yes, to get down to the business, to start getting serious about something. Read the example too.
Yes, please.
We wasted enough time debating on the official launch date. Let's get down to the business now. We have work to do.
Okay. You see, we have wasted enough time debating on the official launch date. So let's get down to business now. We have work to do. Sometimes we are fooling around and then I say, okay, guys, that's enough. Let's get down to business. That means let's start the class. That's what we are here for. Okay?
Okay.
So this is a very common expression. Very, very common expression. Now, to get someone up to speed, let me put it down so it makes it easier to read. To get someone up to speed. I don't know if Josivan, would you like to participate and read something or just want to listen tonight? Your microphone is open if you want to talk. Can you listen to me? She does.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I
Would you
just
like to
watched-
read the number? Would you like to read the number 15 for us so we can discuss it? To get someone up to speed, can you read this for us?
Something, just a little thing.
I don't think so. Carol, can you read it for us?
Yes, yes. To get someone up to speed, to update someone on the current situation or to give them all the necessary current situation, current situation, or to give them all the necessary information to allow them to complete their tasks or fulfill their mission.
Okay. Read example.
Why don't you come to the office and I will take the time to get you up to speed before we'll go to the meeting.
Okay. And in formal English, I would be, I'll tell you all the latest gossips. Okay? The idea in business is to update someone with the current situation or to provide someone with all the necessary information he or she needs in order to do something. Understand? I will get you up to speed. That means I will tell you everything you need to know in order to participate in the meeting. Understand the meaning of this?
In normal situation, there is an expression for this too.
Let me tell you the latest news. Have you heard about? It always starts like this. Have you heard about? Okay.
Yes.
And then, okay, let me tell you what's going on over here. Okay. Something like this. Marcos, can you read the next one? It is not a rock science.
It is not a rocket science. Something not very complicated.
Okay. It has nothing to do with a rocket that we send out to the space. It just means that it's simple. Understand?
Yes.
Read the example.
I don't understand why there are so many mistakes in this report. It's not a rocket science.
It's not rocket science. There is no A. It's not rock science.
It's not rocket science.
Yes, that means it's so simple. Why are there so many mistakes? Understand?
Yes.
Because a rocket science would be something very complex. Okay? And the other one, I think we are already using something similar to this in Brazil at the moment. To think outside the box. Don't we have an expression in Brazil similar to this?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? Marcos,
Yes.
have you heard this?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So probably it was imported because this has been in common use in English for a long time. Okay, like we are always looking for entrepreneurs who think outside the box. That means not convention ones. Understand? Creative people. Okay, people that don't accept new ideas. Or, for example, I really admire and enjoy working with the CEO and the people from Descubra Mundo. It's not because they pay me, or this is not even important. I like and admire them because they think outside the box. How many other companies similar to Descubra Mundo in Brazil has been offering online classes for free to their clients, or not even clients? How many? Can you think of one?
Yes, I don't know.
None. Zero. Understand? The government of São Paulo has even included the link provided by Descubra Mundo in their website, in the education secretary, something like that, as an alternative for people to study while they are under the quarantine, because they loved the idea. Understand? It's a free initiative. They are not making any money. They are not getting any money for it. And it requires a lot of work, but they think outside the box. They are not thinking about results now, because you see, it's not even possible to sell anything now. Okay?
Yeah.
All schools are closed around the world. But they think outside the box. That's why I really admire them. Understand?
Yes.
So read this example. Who is it now? Is it Marcos or Carol?
Carol.
Carol,
It's me? Okay. To think outside the box, to think unconventionally, creatively, and explore. No, creatively,
No, oh, creatively,
creatively,
and explore new
and explore new, no conformist
ideas. Yes.
Example: if you want to success in the highly
Succeed
oh my gosh, today I am special. Succeed in this highly competitive economic environment, you have to think outside of the box to gain an edge on your rivals.
Rivals. Yes, to gain an edge. To gain an edge is also an idiom that means to gain an advantage. Understand?
Okay.
On your rivals. It's to gain an edge. Okay? So, these are just a few examples of the countless colorful expressions you can use to enrich your speech and start mastering the English language like a native speaker. Additionally, understanding the do's and don'ts of an interview process can make or break a job offer. So my suggestion is study these idioms before going for a job interview. If you want, I also have all the questions. I got these from a human resource manager who is a friend of mine in a company in Europe. What are the most frequently asked questions in a job interview, and what would they expect to hear? Understand? So you can even prepare yourself for the next time. Yeah, I can attach these to tomorrow's class. Okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you guys for being here. I hope to see you tomorrow at the same time. And I will remember to attach this file and the other one that I mentioned about the alcoholic problems concerning liability of bar owners and things like that. Okay? I already took note here.
Can I make a about this?
Yes.
About jobs, it's difficult to find a job outside Brazil, like to looking for some job. For example, my area, electrical engineer. Can I find some jobs in websites?
Better than my area.
And the area of Carol is impossible.
Yes, very difficult.
Marcos.
Hi.
I'm typing here. Indeed.
Indeed, yeah.
Two websites, indeed.com, monsters.com, where you can place your CV, your resume, and you're not going to believe, okay? Many people receive job offers every day from these websites.
Really?
Understand? Yes, especially in Europe. Okay, Monsters is the biggest one in the United Kingdom, and indeed they dominate Europe. Okay, considering that United Kingdom is not part of England, Europe anymore. Okay, but those are very good websites, and it's interesting because if you really think outside the box, the company takes care of all the legal papers for you. You receive what they call it a temporary work permit for 3 years. And if they decide to contract you, you then get a permanent work contract. Okay?
Okay, very nice.
You go inside, you can even choose the area that you want. And you start getting emails every day, like a job offer in Brussels, job offer in Netherlands, job offer in France, job offer. And then you see all the requirements. Sometimes you don't fulfill all the requirements. Sometimes you do, understand? Sometimes only English is necessary. Sometimes they require other language, and then it's a problem, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Right, very good.
Thank you.
See you guys tomorrow, okay?
See you tomorrow, teacher. Bye-bye, Rosivan, Marcos, and Mario, no?
Yeah, I think so.
Bye-bye. See you guys
Bye-bye.
tomorrow.
See you.
Everyone.
Bye, guys.
See you.